This is my new program. It's a beta program. It's how to create cash and connections with spray tanning. All right. So in this webinar, ladies, I'm going to inspire you on how to make an extra $200 to $2,000 with spray tanning, or maybe in your case, Kayla, how to save $200 with spray tanning. And this is so it can fit your lifestyle and also your income needs. And you're going to go from being stagnant to being more creative and brave. So I hope that you stay till the end, because at the end, I'll tell you the extra bonuses that we're getting with this program, which is one of them is 6 months of free coaching with me. So after you finish the program, you're not just going to be left out there in the wild, like, what do I do next? So this will help you as you're practicing and getting more competent and confidence. You'll know the next step to do that's right for you. And then I'm also going to have a special package bundle of products for you with this program, because I'm going to do this program later on that's going to be nationwide. However, it's not going to include the product. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to be able to start your business right away. If you choose to do it as business, or if you choose to spray tan yourself, you have product right away so that you can be glowing this holiday season. And winter, because there's nothing like being pale in the winter, right? The only color that should be white is snow, so not your skin. So let's turn off distractions, and if you have something to write with, that would be great. So write down your questions, and perhaps I'll be answering them throughout the webinar, and then at the end we'll have time for Q&A. So both of you have spray tanned with me before, and I want to just ask you, when was the first time you spray tan, though? Like, if it wasn't with me, and why did you spray tan? Libby, you want to go first?
I think you were my first one, and it was before I was getting married, like 8.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow, well, I'm so honored that I'm your first, and you always remember your first, so thanks.
Right? And I came with my best friend, so I still talk to her, and she still asks about you, Molly Maxfield, so she says hi.
It was Molly?
Yeah, Molly with the red hair.
Red hair? Oh,
yeah.
I do remember her. She was so fun.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Kayla, what about you?
I think so I used to get spray tanned in like a booth, but then Allie Manis had told me that you were nearby for work, and so you were the first like person that I had. So like all of us from my work would go there.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all you girls, and there's like 5 of you guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for sharing your story, and I'm so glad that I was your first. And so that's kind of hard that if you don't go somewhere else to know like really the difference, but I'm glad that you love it so much, and I know you guys have referred other people to me as well. And I want to share with you my story of how I got spray tanned for the first time. I was 30 years old, and I had never spray tanned before. I had just moved to Denver from Springfield, Missouri, and I was going to start over with my life. And then I came here, and it was quite different, and I was putting together a food truck business, and I quit my job, and I just didn't know what I was going to do. I come home to Springfield to visit, and a girlfriend of mine had started her mobile spray tanning business, and so I got sprayed for the first time then, and I loved it. And that was because after I turned 30, my hormones changed, and my legs, they don't tan anymore. They're white, and there's all these green veins to it. And I didn't know that was like the reason why I stopped wearing dresses and like shorts. It was just like something little, I'm like, oh, you know, it was subconscious behind me. And that's why I didn't, you know, I just didn't wear it anymore. So when I spray tan, I loved it because it made me feel leaner. It made me feel taller. There's nothing like tan legs to make you feel taller, you know, right, Libby?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So because Libby's a little bit more on the petite side too.
I have the shortest legs.
Yeah, so it's like the little things, you know, and so it made me so happy. I didn't even know why. It's like, I want to spray, and I want to put this all in an RV and spray happiness. And so of course my friends laughed, because that's like totally quirky me. And then when I said that, though, I knew that there was something there, because I was putting together a food truck business. But at the same time, at that time, my ulcerative colitis had started to really start forming. And I was like, well, that's not going to work if I'm in a food truck with no bathroom. right? And so I was like, I better rethink this. And it just costs a lot more to start up a food truck than it did for the spray tanning. I asked Heidi what she did. And so I meditated on it for like 2 weeks and I started the program. And when I did meditate on it, I asked other people if they spray tan, and a lot of my friends are like, no, we don't spray tan, especially my family. Why would you do that? Because they like to be pale. Like Asian people, like they pride themselves on being pale because like that's a prestigious thing, you know, and so they couldn't understand the concept. But there was something inside of me. I was like, there's something more to this. And I'm really good at spotting trends because I used to own a clothing store. And with the clothing store, I had to predict trends that were happening. So I knew that this would be something that would be on the rise, especially with all the health concerns. And so that was where I was in my life then. Just moved to Denver and just confused of what I was going to do with my life. I thought maybe I had to move back to Missouri, you know, and we were also in a recession then. Okay, and that was like 2010. So now, 12 years later, after doing this business for 12 years, this is why most people spray tan, special events, right? Because that's why you spray tanned, Libby and Kayla too, because I think maybe you had a company function, right? So weddings are huge. That's when season is really like April through July, when a lot of the weddings are happening. And that's not just for brides, it's people going to weddings. And this year, some of my clients seriously had 8 to 10 weddings to go to. And normally wedding season ends around like October-ish, but this year it's still going on with later weddings because they just didn't have the dates available. And next year, the wedding trend is going to be just as strong. A lot of people spray tan because of vacations, right? Every time before I go on vacation, and a lot of my clients, they laugh too, because like, I come back paler than when I left for vacation, because then the spray tan faded. A lot of people spray tan for birthdays, all sorts of different types of parties. And here in Denver, there's always like these theme parties, right? And so those are always really fun to do. Photo shoots is a big one. I did a mobile on Saturday for a gal that was doing a boudoir shoot. And then there's competitions. So there's competitions of all types, dance competitions, bodybuilding competitions, pageants. Sometimes I spray younger girls with the competitions. But this is also a very special niche. And you can totally specialize in this if you want to, and just work a business where you just want to do those. Now, the other reason that people spray tan is because of health concerns. Now, skin cancer is a big one. And then there's breast cancer. And then a lot of people have skin discolorations or melasma. And there's others that just like to be tan all the time. And so in season, they come like sometimes once a week, which is so great. So something brought you here today. Perhaps it's because I invited you. Maybe it's because you're interested in producing some extra money, especially with all the talk of the recession. And you know, like you feel like you need extra money, but you don't want to get a part-time job because a part-time job is like a 3 to 5 hour shift, and you know, like you don't have time for that. Maybe you're just bored or stagnant, or maybe because you just like being tan, or because I've made it look fun for you. So if you feel like you want to make some extra money, I can show you how to do it, where you can just do maybe 2 to 5 spray tans a week. And that would only be like maybe 1 to 2 hours of your week. So if you're feeling stuck, maybe this is something to get you out, to make more friends. And you know, you don't know what you have to offer until you actually have it, because in your reticular activating system there, then you could present it. You know, you're not going to talk about it if you don't have that skill, or you don't have that item or that knowledge, right? So this will help open up doors for you with just making new friends or learning something new. So this business, when I looked at it 12 years ago, I had all these doubts as well, because I'd never gotten a spray tan before. I only had 1 spray tan, right? But it just made me feel so excited. And I started it from scratch. I just moved here to Denver about 8 months. I didn't know very many people. I had no experience, and I had very little money to invest. In that 8-month time span of living in Denver, I acquired $22,000 in credit card debt. Yeah. So now I've been in business for 12 years. And if you Google me on Yelp or Google, So You Boutique does pop up as one of the first ones organically. And so people know when it's a paid website, you know, and so then sometimes they click down. So I'm like the second or third. So I would just want to encourage you that you can do this. If I can do it, you can do it too. So you can have this business any way that you want, small or big. You can have it be mobile. You can have it in your home. I had it in the very beginning mobile, where I went to luxury apartments. I also spray tanned some people in the basement. And then afterwards, I rented a space in a salon in which I didn't even have a sign. And then I moved into my current location about 11 years ago. So you can just do this for exclusive events where you team up with someone. So where we're going to go from here in this webinar, I'm going to take you reasons of why you want to have a business and what is your why and defining your idea of success. And then we're going to discuss things to consider for the business. And then we're going to discuss if this is not for you, because I don't want you to waste your time either. You know, and this can be a very fickle business, just like any business. So we're going to discuss in how fast you want to go according to your lifestyle. And then we're going to do some, go over some training basics of the program. And then we're going to go over some business basics and marketing. And then we're going to have the questions. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
All right. So one, why have a business? And you really want to know also what is your why? Because if you don't have a strong, solid why, like most businesses fail within 5 years, you know, then you'll fall off with this. And I want you to define what your idea of success. In the very beginning, I didn't define my idea of success. I just wanted to make an extra $1,000 a month while I was like figuring my life out and maybe getting a job or this other business. And then also discovering Denver. So why have a business? Because of the economic uncertainty. You know, there's all this talk about the recession, and then there's all this inflation. And I don't know about you, but it costs me about $100 a week to refill my car, the gas, because I have this big gas guzzler. You know? And then there's nothing that's guaranteed. A lot of jobs are, you know, they could be laid off or hours shortened and such. And then another reason just to have a business or side hustle is for the time and the freedom flexibility. And most of the time on Mondays and Tuesdays, I get to wake up a little bit later and flow a little bit more. And I book my appointments just on Monday from like 12 to 5, which I'm doing my office hours or whatever appointments that come in. And so that I have time for my little girl. And that's my main why, my little girl, Isabella. And she's 5 now, you guys, and she's just so full of spirit. And kindergarten really is a big thing. It's a big transition. I didn't think that it would be that hard of a transition. I was like, oh, she's gone to daycare. It's hard. They're so emotional. And now they're exposed to like all these other different kids, you know? And so it's like, you really want to be present to that. And growing up, my mom, she was a single mom with 2 kids and didn't know any English, you know, and so she worked all the time. And I always felt second to work. And so for me, that's a big priority for me. I don't want my little girl to feel second to work. And then the last reason to have a side business, even if you don't even do that much, you can declare it for a tax benefit. So you can write off a lot of the things that you already spend money on, like your cell phone, your internet, your makeup, your clothes. And so that makes it look like you make less money, which then you pay less in taxes, which then money saved is money earned, right? So in a recession, which is all this talk that we're in right now, there are some industries that are not affected. One of those industries is going to be the wedding industry. Weddings are still very, very strong next year and probably for at least 2 more years, just because of the whole COVID situation. Now, lower end restaurants, they also thrive. My neighbors, the Denver Pizza Company, they had the biggest year, the year of COVID, and they're still going very, very strong. Okay. Then other industries would be childcare and healthcare. So right now, I want you to just touch your heart and not comparing yourself to other people. What makes you happy? What's your idea of success? And this can change, but what is your success now? And you don't have to do big things, and it doesn't have to be like measured on other people. But what makes you happy? Because I want you to do this where you're spraying happiness and you're waking up and you're not burned out and you're happy to do it. So for me, when I measure things now, I ask several different things. If it impacts others, if it gives me inspiration. And for me, success now is flowing with ease, doing what I want, working on projects that make me happy, and having no obligations or deadlines, having no whiny people in my life. And with my business, people come because they're celebrating something. And so they're happy. They're happy to see me. They're not bringing their problems to me, you know. So these are my ideas of success, and I redefined it this year after I read the book, The Gap and the Gain. So if some of these apply for you, then great, you know, but I'm still working on some of these, but half of these I feel like I've already accomplished for the most part, 80% of my week. And so right now I feel my life is very successful. And then with that, with the momentum and the law of attraction, it just creates more. And this project is one of the things that I feel is very successful. And I would love to make this something for other people so that they can live their life. So pillar number 2, things to consider for a business. First and foremost, where is the startup cost? Then there's training, then there's support. And you know, when I left, when I did my training program, I didn't get any support afterwards. I had to figure it out all by myself. And I know that like most of my friends who are estheticians or hairstylists, it's the same thing. Here, you're gonna get supported. I'm gonna give you the 6 months of my coaching, okay? And our training is 2 days. So in 2 days, you're gonna be able to leave and be able to spray tan someone else and spray tan yourself, okay? And you're gonna also all be spray tanned in our workshop. So then there's the licensing. You know, realtors have to get licensed. Their training is anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending on how fast they want to go and how many hours they can put into it. Right? But then afterwards, they have to study and then take their license and their boards. Now, there's also city licenses. If you choose to have a location and be bigger, then you're probably going to want to get a license for that. But initially, you don't have to have a license for our spray tanning. And then after we develop your reason why and your and how fast you want to go, then we can decide on what type of license you need. Now, if you want to maybe also consider labor, is it just going to be you? Are you going to have other people working with you? Then there's funding for the startup costs, and the startup cost for our program is $997. Then there is the actual spray tanning kit that you don't get through me, but you get it through Amazon, and that's going to run about $500. And then I always like to cushion in a little bit more for other things, and so your just overall startup is around $2,000. Now you want to also consider inventory. So you know, if you have like a food business, inventory is very perishable. Here, all you really need is the spray tanning solution, and that lasts a long time. And it is somewhat seasonal, but it does last a long time, and it's not anything that you have to carry where then you have your money tied up. Then there's overhead that you may want to consider, and if you're going to have a location, you know, you want to consider that. But if you're just doing it out of your home and your car, that's already like sunk costs that you have that you live normally. So then there's very little overhead. And then there's maintenance. So maintenance is the same thing in correspondence with the overhead. There's very little. So here, I'm just going over what I just talked about. So it's about roughly $2,000. We're going to do 2 days of live training, and it's going to be fun. You're also going to get a private Facebook page and my coaching. And so on the Facebook page, as you're doing your business and you have questions or you have something that's inspirational, put it on there so it inspires the other technicians. Labor just varies on your goals. And then the funding, you can do it with credit card or your personal finances. Technology, I already told you that I'm very bad with technology. This industry, you don't need very much technology. You really just need your cell phone to start out with, okay? And then the airbrush gun. Overhead, like I said, is very little, and the maintenance is very little. So other things that you want to consider is, does this align with my values? How committed am I? Will this make me stronger? Does this make sense financially? And is this transactional, transformational? And if you say no, then if you say yes to this, what must you say no to? All right, so this business, if you choose to do it as a business, is not for you if you have a hard time seeing naked people. You're going to see people of all sizes and all sorts of physical conditions as well. I swear I have seen a person with 3 nipples. And some people are born with less toes than others. So you have to be very open. And you have to also be very open to seeing different ethnicities and sex genders, because they might come to you. But you can always define that yourself too, and in the area that you want to work, okay, if you have a hard time with it. Also, if like you want to make them wear briefs, you can. You don't have to see them nude. Okay, I do make men wear briefs. Okay, so don't be afraid of that. But you set your terms. And you also have to be patient, because people will cancel on you. And there's always changes in a lot of schedules, you know, but most of the time too, I have changes as well. And I can easily just text them and ask them, hey, can we move it back 10 minutes, 20 minutes? So that's also a wonderful thing. Okay, and this business is not for you if you don't want to work. So how fast do you want to go? Well, this depends on your goals, and that will determine how fast you're going to have your return on investments, which is your ROI. And from there, we can make a plan. And you get to set the speed of your business. So the potential in this. So this here is a little bit not truthful, okay, because some of the numbers, they look really good. It's something that I pulled off of a site that does spray tanning as well. So the market price for a spray tan in a booth is anywhere from $30 to $40, depending on the place. Okay. Airbrushing, though, is a little bit more. And so the market price here is anywhere from $40 to $65. So here I'm averaging a $40 a spray tan. Okay. I currently charge $45 a spray tan, $50 for the rapid. Okay, but then I have packages. And so on my package that is the most lucrative is my package of 3, which is 3 spray tans for $40, or for $120, which makes it to $40 a spray tan. So this chart here, when it says clients per day, this is 2, and then your daily income is $80. This is on, this chart is based on a 5-day work week. Okay, you're not gonna work all 5 days. All right, and this is also on a 52 week year. Okay, you're not going to want to work 52 weeks a year, right? So that's why this is not accurate. I will show you accurate numbers though. So season is between March and October. You really want to be able to work April through July, because that's prime time. You don't have to though. Okay, and spray tanning is very seasonal, where I'm now getting out of season. So for the next 3 months, I'm going to be slower if I was still continuing to do spray tans. And then there's going to be weeks with the month that have spurts in them. So like right now, this week will be maybe Halloween parties and some people still going on vacation. November, very little actually spray for Thanksgiving, but there's people still making trips. Okay, December, the very beginning of December, you're going to have holiday parties. And then at the end of December, you're going to have New Year's Eve. That's the trend. But the last 2 years, the last 3 years with COVID and such, I really don't know what's going to happen. But last year it was pretty good still in December, as you can see from my numbers. Okay, so this is 2020 and then also 2021. So I didn't work very much last year from October through February. and February this year, and that's because of my colitis condition. But even so, being really tired and just reducing my hours, last year in November, I did almost 4,000, and then in December, I did a little over 4,000. In January, I took off for 3 weeks, and I was in Hawaii. I think I worked like 3 days in January. Okay, and in February, I took it very easy, and this is why the numbers here are lower. As well. And then you can compare from last year and this year. And this year I didn't work as much as last year as well, because I'm still recovering from my colitis. So if you're thinking about doing this with the ROI return, how fast can you have your return on investment? It's roughly $2,000 to start at $40 a spray tan. You're gonna wanna do 50 spray tans to cover the startup costs. During season, I do 40 to 60 spray tans a week. You're not going to be there yet because you're just starting out, but I didn't think my $2,000 investment 12 years ago would make me over $500,000 in less than 8 years. Okay. So our program, and this is a beta program for me, plan on the first day going over the spray tanning solutions and the equipment. Then we're going to go over how to spray tan, common mistakes that are made, and how you won't turn people orange or give them a rainbow tan. And you're also going to get spray tan by another person that's doing the program, and you're going to spray tan them. So then day 2, we're going to see the results of our spray tan, and then go over what made us feel comfortable. And after you see the results, because it takes about 8 hours, once again, to see the development. So then you're going to see what you did in another person. And then we're going to strategize. I'm going to teach you how to body contour. So if you decide to also do competition tans, and sometimes I'm so smooth with doing it that you guys don't even know that I do it, but I always highlight like your arms right here, your abs, and then for the butt to look a little bit perkier, you want to spray tan in the shape of a heart, but the part in the middle is lighter, so it looks perkier. Yeah, you didn't know I did that, did you? And that's why your butt looks better after you spray tan. So we're going to go over marketing techniques as well, what area you really want to hit more, how to advertise it, and then also secrets in locking in loyal customers for life. So like Libby, you spray tan with me now off and on for 8 years, right? And then Kayla, I think you're a good like 4 years?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. Yep.
Yeah. I know I see you maybe like 2 or 3 times, or certain times more than others, but yeah, the loyalty and then the referrals. So the obvious question now is, 1, you can stay confused and stagnant, or 2, you can design your life, and this can open up a new chapter for you. And this week is a great week to make some decisions because of the new moon and the solar eclipse and things being completed and then starting new things. And this year, 2022, is the year for dreams to come true. 22 is the master angel number for alignment. So you never know what doors open. And sometimes it's like these little doors that open that present other opportunities to you. So I really invite you to take a look at this program, even if it's just to spray tan yourself, like for you, Kayla, and you can spray tan just your group of girlfriends at work, for your events, and for you as well. So you're always glowing. And on my package during season, a lot of people see me once a week, and their packages run from anywhere from $120 to $175, depending on if they do the regular tan or the rapid. And then there's tips as well. And so they're spending like $200 with me a month. And so here, if you're thinking of it that way, you're going to save on your spray tanning costs or your beauty costs. So that's money earned, right? And then you're always looking good. So no matter what you decide, I appreciate you coming here. And it's always going to be the right decision for you at this time. Maybe if it's not right for you now, and maybe later, I will do another program, but I just don't know when, and I probably won't offer it at this pricing because this is my first one, and I know that with the bundled package, you're getting about $300 just in product to start out with. So this is my baby, and I really want to do well, and I want to work with just the people who really want to do this. And so I'm putting a cap on 8 people at this training, so that I can have enough time and presence for you guys. So no matter what you decide, I will love you, and I will still be your friend, and maybe we'll connect at another time. Okay, so there's no obligation. But I do want to encourage you to make the decision sooner than later, because one, you want to order your spray tanning kit from Amazon so that it gets to you in time, so that you can bring the kit to the training, and we can work with it then. Because even though it's like the same kit, I swear, like every device has its like energy and life of its own. Like your cell phone, you might have the same cell phone, like iPhone, with another friend, and you see their pictures, like, why is their picture different than mine? Right? It's like every like little thing has its own energy. And so I want you to work with your technology, your device, and so that you can really get to know it. All right. So let's just recap. In this program, what you're getting is 2 days of live training, Saturday and Sunday. Most likely it's going to be from 10 to 6. We'll have a break in between. You're going to have a private Facebook page for ongoing support. You're going to get a spray tanning manual. If we film it, we'll probably have it in like a program so that you can always access it. Okay, you're going to become a certified spray tanning artist, and you're going to be listed on my website for 1 year. And so with that, I really haven't figured out how to do that yet, because this is new for me. But I'm going to redo the page, and then I'm going to have like your name listed. And if you have a website, it's going to be linked there, or your phone number, so people can contact you. You can set any hours you want. You can set whatever price you want. You don't have to pay me any royalty fees. Okay. It's just this way you don't have to do the hustle like I did. And some people are like, oh, she's certified by me, and then she's in my area, and they call you. Okay, so I don't know how that's going to turn out, but it's just another form of advertising for you for free if you're choosing to start it. So that's about a $4,000 value. Now you're going to get my bonuses, which is $300 worth of products. So you're going to get 4 bottles of the solution, 1 of each. So there's 3 of the main spray tanning regular solution, and then there's the rapid tan. And then we're going to do like a little bundle with like a foam roller and some brushes and things like that for you to start out with. So then there's the 6 months of free coaching. So if you make your decision, first thing to do is to go online and get the package, and then also to buy your spray tanning kit. And Jan can send you the link for that, and which are the spray tanning kits that I recommend. And I want you to do the same one that I have here at the shop, so that you're familiar with it. But if your kit doesn't come in time, you still have a gun to work with here. Okay. So I just want to go over that. I'm not special by any means, and my success doesn't mean that you won't be successful, or to compare with me. I've just tried it all, and I fumbled a lot, and I picked myself up. But this business is not a hard business, and it's a fun business. So I mean, I've done it from my home. I've been mobile. I've rented spaces. With another business, I've had my own space. I've done events, and these doors wouldn't have opened for me unless I took the step forward. And you never know what's going to happen, and who is going to come, and how that little circle will evolve more. So like Kayla, for you, it was Allison that introduced you to me, and then other things, right? And so I can't predict the people that will open for you, but I'm excited for your opportunities and your possibilities, and it'll be your story. So what it costs, it's not going to cost you $5,350. It's going to cost you $997 with our live program, and then the other $500 for the equipment. So sign up today, sooner than later, but you do have till October 31st, 12 p.m. to decide. So you can click on to the QR code or this website, and it'll prompt you through how to do it. If you have a problem with payment, or you want to break it up and you want it to work, then let's have a side conversation and we can work on that for you. Okay. So I want you to think about what brought you here today. Maybe it's because I invited you, maybe because you just love being tan, maybe because you want something extra on the side to do. And, maybe you still have some doubts right now. So let's tackle some of that. So Between, I don't know if I can do this. If I can do it, you can do too. You won't be alone with this. And you're going to get support, and you're going to have a little team. That was something that I wish I had, like other people who do it. And I don't ever see people as competition, because what if you get a spray tanning party of 20 people? You're going to want to do that with someone else, right? And so you're going to want to know someone else to do it. Or maybe you've run out of solution, and maybe someone else then will, that that's on the team, will have it for you. Okay, so you won't be alone. And maybe the doubt is you don't have enough money right now. Let's talk about it if you do need financing. So you can easily make your return on investment within a month if you wanted to. Okay, how bad do you want it? So maybe it's because you don't have the time right now. And one of the my favorite quotes, and I learned it from a bodybuilder. She was doing competition, and when I was spraying her, she told me this is what motivated her on her journey to doing the competition, because that diet is really, really hard. Right? And the timing and all the workouts, she said that she had this quote up: if it's a priority, I'll find a way. If not, I'll find an excuse. So if it's a priority, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. We can always make the excuse that we don't have the right time or enough time. And then maybe you don't know anyone who spray tans. I do 40 to 60 spray tans a week. There's lots of people that spray tan. You guys spray tan. Right? And then Between, I'm not as good as you. I don't want you to be me. I want you to be you. The world deserves the best you. And you're going to be able to talk to other people, make other people feel differently. And that's your special gift. And then Between, what if I mess up their tan? It's for their wedding. That's why we're going to practice. Practice makes perfect, and it makes you feel more competent. And with competency comes confidence. After a while, you realize that maybe it's the solution that went bad. Maybe it's something with the gun and it's clogged. Things are really easily fixable. It's not the end of the world. So just want to remind you that I started from scratch. I didn't have I only had one spray tan, you guys, one spray tan. And I had very few friends here, and I had very little money to invest, and I was in debt. And within a year, I was able to get myself out of debt. Okay, so you can do this. It's not hard or stressful. When you see people, when you have a spray tanning party, you just go there. You don't have to prep. I took up a notary business during COVID, and that gave me so much anxiety. Like when I had to go do a loan, I had to print up the loan, and then I had to go over it. I had to make sure that they signed in all the right places, and afterwards I had to scan and all the stuff. It was so stressful. This here, I just carry my little bag, come spray tan. They greet you, they offer you drinks, they offer you food. They do the work for you. People who go to these parties, they know what they're getting. You don't have to sell anything. It's not stressful, and like you're bringing happiness to other people, and you're indirectly part of their celebration that they remember forever. So, questions?
My question was any gotcha moments, but it looks like you went through it with the consider first list, like inventory, perishable, it's not very perishable. So during those non-season times, it shouldn't go bad or anything.
Yeah, once the bottle is open, you really have about like 3 months to use it.
Okay.
And the bottles come in quarts, and so that's pretty easy to do.
Okay. And then what type of insurance do you have?
I don't have any insurance.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I did have like insurance for the shop when I got to the shop, but when I first started, I didn't have to.
Okay.
I do have them sign a waiver. Okay, so perfect. That would help you too. Good question.
How many tans per bottle of solution?
So it's about 2 ounces per tan, depending on the person. Sometimes a bigger person will need a little bit more. I would say a bottle, you can get probably 20 spray tans. Just when you get good, you have less overspray and you're more exact, and so there's less waste. But like if you don't learn it right and you're like spraying all over, then you have more waste.
Yeah.
Good question. All right.
What kind of marketing have you found works best?
So really through word of mouth and friends, and if your mouth is closed, your business is closed. Okay, just declaring that you're doing it, and then inviting some people, making little flyers that you can do with just a Word document, handing it out or hanging it up in like a gym, or going to like the residential high-rise luxury apartments, collaborating with them for their client appreciation, or whatever you do there. You can just put an ad there that you can come to their apartment. Okay, there's like a general board normally. Each place is different though. Just even like having a sign in your yard, that you do, and you can make that out of Vistaprint. That's what I've done. You can also with that create like a car magnet, and then you just put that on your car. I've done that,
nice.
And so then people see that, like, oh, okay. And so they just take a picture of you then, and then you just never know. Yeah. Very, very easy. But like just little flyers you pass out if you have kids, and you can do it with the schools, just you'll see these opportunities as they come up, and you get more creative, and because you have it now, like, oh, this will be good here. So I've just done tons of that, and we can brainstorm that with on the coaching calls like we have with you. Yeah. But social media is free, and that's really good too. Yeah.
Well, the reels are so in on Instagram. I was wondering if like making tanning reels would become popular or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to work on my tech skills, but.
Well, Jan can help you with that. She's actually my social curator, and she has grown my TikTok account since last year. We started on Thanksgiving to this year. Now I'm at 5,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so you can just film things, and she will help edit them for you and put them up, put the music on it, so your video doesn't go silent because of copyright laws.
Cool. Right.
Okay. Yes, she makes it very easy.
Awesome. That's pretty much all I had to ask.
Cool. And Kayla, with spray tanning yourself, initially your legs will always be a little off, and you won't be able to get your back. And that's why if you do this program, maybe you can trade with the other girls, then you guys can spray tan yourself, right? That's why it's so great doing this with other people and having a team, and so that you're not out there by yourself. And just remember, there's no competition. There's room for everyone, and we all live in different areas, and sometimes you can't fit them in because of your schedule. And so pass it along, and then it's the same product, and so that it'll just have them come back to you. Okay. But yeah, Kayla, when you do this, maybe you'll have another person to spray tan you, and you guys can swap, so you guys can always be tan.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. A new friendship starts. You never know. All right. So you have until October 31st. Some of these webinars are like, oh, act now within the next 24 hours or the cart closes. I hate that. And so I want you to have time to do this. I want you to talk to your partner, your mom, your friend, and get, more validation if you need it. But if you were like me, that you just have a hunch in your stomach, you're like, I don't know what this is, but I feel it. And you're like 60%, 70% there, just do it. Okay, because it's not a big time investment. It's not a big money investment. You can make your money back instantly. You can sell the gun, if you choose not to do it anymore. But it's really like, I evaluate a lot of businesses that I consider. Like right now, I'm evaluating this one machine that's like $10,000. I'm like, oh my God, how many of these scams do I have to do beforehand? And none of it is as easy as this. at least for me, it's a no-brainer, but I've been doing it for a long time. I've seen the success, and even like when I couldn't work before and then I had to live off of some savings, I made it up. I knew I would make it up when I was able to work again and when I was in season, and I did.
Nice.
So I don't know what awaits for you behind your door unless you walk through it. And I don't know what people will come into your life. But one thing leads to another, and I believe that your intention really attracts the things to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 2 decisions to do right now. And like I said, if you decide not to do it, I still will love you, and I will support you in any way. No judgment. But you either step forward into growth or you'll step back into safety. And I hope that this opens up a lot of possibilities and doors for you and new adventures.